So, my friends, that is how to beat an psychic energy vampire. Have you ever noticed your energy change when you're around a certain person? Maybe you feel drained, you feel zapped, stressed, you just feel off after being around them or hanging out. You know, it could be a friend or a family member, and you just can't quite put your finger on it. Well, we like to call those in the energy work world psychic vampire. We like to call this in our day-to-day lives as setting healthy boundaries. So in this video, I'm going to help you shift your perspective on how to deal with psychic energy vampires and take your power back or energy. So a psychic vampire, it makes you think of like this ugly creature, like this mythical character, just very scary, right? And I don't really like this term because I do have a lot of energy work clients that come to me and actually say that somebody told them in another reading that they have an energy vampire, and they get freaked out about it, thinking it's like this dark figure, Dracula looking thing, just like in their energy field, sucking them of their life. No, we have to put a stop to that real quick. I decided I would let Google tell me what it thought an energy or a psychic vampire was. I'm going to use those terms interchangeably. So Google says, a psychic vampire is a creature in folklore said to feed off the life force of other living creatures. The term can also be used to describe a person who gets increased energy around other people, but leaves those other people exhausted, aka drained AF. You feel like crap after hanging out with them, right? So I think we've all had people like that in our lives, or situations that we've had to attend, maybe family events, public events, where we go and we are zapped of our energy. We are stressed out. We are anxious. We do not feel good. So why does this happen? Well, I could give you the energy world description, maybe a psychic description of the energy vampires that are latching on to you from these events or these people that are in their field, and then give you a bunch of energy work exercises that you could do to cure it, to help you in the moment. But I prefer to help you shift your perspective to see it for what it actually is. So what is it? So what is actually happening to us when we are around these people who are taking our energy? What are they doing? What is happening when we feel drained? Or are we even noticing in the moment that we feel drained until after the fact we've left from them or left the situation? Well, first off, the whole problem is you are not setting healthy boundaries for yourself. You are not setting healthy boundaries or protecting your energy or shifting your mindset to see the situation differently if you are conscious of it in the moment. So why do we struggle to set boundaries or protect our energy? Well, we could be unconscious or conscious of it. And if you're unconscious of it, it will keep happening until you learn the lesson. You'll probably end up just avoiding people or the person that drains your energy altogether. Why we struggle to actually set and hold boundaries is several different trigger points within us. The root cause of it all is we have parts of us that need to be healed, or triggers, if you want to call it. These prevent us from actually being able to set and hold boundaries. So what are some of these triggers, you might ask? One of the biggest reasons, and myself included on this one, is being a people pleaser. Now, what does it mean to be a people pleaser? It means you put other people's needs before your own, and that includes setting healthy boundaries. So what does this mean also? It means that you are going to withhold your truth. You won't speak your truth. You won't communicate how you actually feel about a certain situation or person. Maybe they're saying something that is draining your energy or acting a certain way in which it's taking your energy. Say somebody is very needy, or the conversation topic is draining you. Say they complain a lot and you're kind of the person who they complain to, the venting person they go to. I don't know what you want to call it. And after a while, this can get really draining for you, especially if you just keep giving yourself to them. You keep trying to help other people because you want to make them happy. Now, why do we do this? Why do we like to stay hidden, stay small, not speak our truth? Well, it's because we're scared to. We're actually scared that if we show our truth, if we speak how we really feel, we're going to upset somebody. We're going to be scared of rejection. To actually show our truth, the true us, of what we are on the inside, of what we can and cannot tolerate, we are afraid of being rejected. And therefore, that goes back to just the root chakra issue of being accepted as a tribe. And that's the way I kind of like to look at it, is everybody wants to be accepted and liked because it is almost a survival tactic. Because back in the day, if you got kicked out of the tribe, you probably weren't going to make it very far. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice to your soul if you're not speaking how you truly feel and communicating with the person on what is indeed bothering you, where you can't shift your perspective to see love in this situation. And that is okay too. But you have to express how you feel and what your boundary actually is. And you have to be consciously aware of it. So the more disservice that you actually do to your soul, the more dis-ease you're going to actually feel on the inside, meaning you're going to actually hold resentment. How many times can I say actually? You're going to hold resentment towards that person, and it is going to build, and it is going to build and build. And one day you're going to either explode on them, and they aren't going to know what hit them or what they did wrong because you did not communicate your boundary to them, or you're just going to find yourself distancing yourself from them, and they're also not going to know why. I myself am so guilty of this, and especially if you're an empathic person, you really, really care about how other people feel and what they think of you. So this is a huge empathic personal problem, I feel like, or a lot of spiritual people have this because they want to heal other people, and so they will always, or most of the time, until you learn selfishness is self-love, you will put other people first. Trust me. So when you actually draw that healthy boundary, when you speak your truth, you communicate it to that other person, you're going to feel a sense of relief. You'll probably almost feel like the burden has been lifted off of your shoulders because you spoke your truth. So you moved that energy that was blocked up within you or being withheld in you. And it was probably low vibrational, so it didn't feel very good. So the next way in which a lot of people fail, or I don't want to say the word fail, struggle to set boundaries, is their self-worth. Oh my goodness, this is such a solar plexus chakra issue, and it is really common in our society, I want to say, just because our society drives worthiness as something external from ourselves. So what I mean by this is a lot of people look for their self-worth in external factors, and this means that they will not set healthy boundaries because they will go above and beyond to be either the best, to get ahead, to climb the corporate ladder, to achieve goals. It's a competition type of thing. And when we want that, that promotion, that, the attaboy, things like that, we will go above and beyond of what is considered or what is really healthy for us, meaning our stress levels, meaning the things that we will do for other people and, in our jobs or tasks for other people. We'll overgive ourselves, and it's not just with our self-worth, but also we overgive ourselves with love to others. So instead of loving ourselves, which is a problem, it's the lack of self-love, we end up giving more, and we end up not feeling compensated for the love that we give other people. So then it starts to create that resentment in us because we're trying to make others happy by doing or by giving more of ourselves, and therefore we put others' needs before our own in this aspect. Why do we do this? Once again, we are fearful of not being loved so we feel like we have to go above and beyond to show somebody else love because we cannot provide it for ourselves. So we are looking for somebody else to give us love. So we give more of ourselves to that person by doing all the things for them, showing affection, and then we get disappointed in return because that other person cannot show us the same amount of love. Because you know why? You're not showing it to yourself. You can only receive as much love as you show yourself. So this is a boundary issue also, in which a lot of people don't set, or they cross if they try to set it. So how do we fix these things? Well, at the root cause, you have to fix your triggers. It's what is driving the boundaryless behavior. Once you can identify what has caused these triggers within you, past trauma experiences, for example, somebody may have broken your heart, and so you feel like you have to overgive to make somebody happy. You could feel like you have to work extremely hard at your job because that's what you were taught, like the work hard ethic, the hustle and grind culture, which is so deadly. So it's identifying where your triggers are at, where your emotional triggers are at, and then being able to heal those, kind of working with the mind, rewiring your mindset, and ultimately bringing yourself back to a place of love. Because when you show yourself love and you lean into these triggers, then it becomes effortless to set boundaries because you do it out of respect for yourself. And that is really the core of everything that will help you solve your boundaryless, setting behaviors, is the self-love. Because when you love yourself enough to either, one, admit that you can't shift your perspective to see the situation in a higher wisdom or a higher perspective, then you know the action has to be different. So it's got to be one of those two things. Either your mindset has to change and you have to accept it and show yourself love, or you still show yourself love and you draw healthy boundaries, however which way that works for you. And you have to communicate those boundaries. You have to communicate them and you have to hold them. Yes, you have to actually hold them. And trust me, if you set boundaries and you communicate them, and say somebody crosses the boundary, that is still on you. This whole thing is taking that energy vampire victim mindset and giving you back your power, because it is ultimately your perspective that has to change, your emotions, your triggers. That is how the power comes back to you and how you become a conscious creator in your life. Because when somebody crosses a boundary, that is still us not holding the boundary. All the power is within you. So if somebody crosses a boundary, it is a feeling that you have created within yourself that you are judging them for crossing a boundary that you set. You have to then shift your perspective. And then this is where the self gets to know itself through its external world. How are you the person to react? Because ultimately we cannot control how other people act, how other people think or feel. It is ultimately us. So if you can bring yourself back to a place of love and understanding, you'll see how the boundary was never crossed to begin with, because that feeling has dissipated within you. The anger is gone, the resentment is gone. All you see is self-love, and then you can decide how you want to act from this point of being, whether it be have a conversation with them or whether it be that you walk away out of love. But either way, when you do this, you feel no need to draw a boundary. You kind of get what I'm saying here? When you bring yourself back to a place of love, you don't feel the resentment. You don't feel the negativity. You don't feel those low vibrations, that draining of the energy within you. You just are expressing your truth. So, my friends, that is how to beat an psychic energy vampire. All the power is within you. You are not the victim. You are never a victim in your life. How you think, how you act, and how you feel will determine if you are drained or not. Are you allowing somebody to take your energy? It's you giving your energy away. Somebody is not taking your energy. You are giving it away. So you have to shift your perspective and come back to a place of love and set healthy boundaries for yourself from a place of love. And it will dissipate that energy, that negativity, that drainingness, because you'll no longer really see it as a boundary. You'll just see it as what you do and do not accept in your life. And it's from the highest point of being for you. So anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it really helped you shift your perspective. Yes, I can probably give you, energy work, visualizations, meditations, things like that to help shift the energy and move it. But ultimately, it is you coming to the realization of these things. That's how you truly make perception shifts in your life. When you shift the way that you see these things, it's going to help it rewire your mind, actually create new neuroplasticity pathways in your mind. So then you actually start becoming this person who just is the way that they are. It's kind of my perspective on it. Speaking your truth. So living freely and happily and lovingly. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Conscious Coffee Talk, and I will catch you in the next one. I'm sending you all of my light and all of my love. We'll see ya.